This video was made possible by a grant from Vaccinate All 58. I know there are lots of reasons why people might be unsure of even how or whether to get vaccinated, but vaccines can really be a great way to keep yourself and your loved ones safe. And if you're looking for more information or want to set up an appointment, you can visit them at myturn.ca.gov or you can call them at 833-422-4255. I hope everybody's staying safe out there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Until next time.
Hey everyone, this is Trish Soisu of Makersville, and this is our first episode of our Pandemic Tales podcast that I am doing with Shaana, and Shaana is going to share with us her story of what happened during the pandemic that's relevant to, that she wants to share. Please don't share anything that you feel is private or that you'd really just too emotionally hurtful. Share with us whatever you want to share that is meaningful to you.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll probably do this in about 3 minutes. Yes. And then great. So there you go, Shaana.
Yes. Well, the pandemic was very, I guess for the entire nation, it was very a different situation because a lot of people ended up losing their careers, especially if they were childcare providers, because they couldn't, everything shut down. So it was, myself as a nurse, I was to care for a lot of persons that did test positive for COVID. I first started testing persons, and I did have one client that passed away out of like 300. So I'm very thankful that we were able to protect a lot of the clients. I started off testing in like food service areas, food distribution. So we were trying to make sure to keep everybody, healthy so that they wouldn't cause any other health issues related to persons being able to get their food to different stores. And then when I returned back to working mental health, it was very difficult trying to quarantine clients when they were in hospital, because a lot of times they were 2 to a room. So it was very difficult just trying to keep the spread of COVID, people putting masks on, people washing their hands. If they did extract the COVID virus, then they would have to, of course, quarantine. And but it was an experience because I think a lot of persons didn't believe that COVID really existed. They thought that it was just some type of, I don't know, they just didn't believe that it was really like a infectious disease, and that it was really fatal at the time prior to us getting the vaccinations up and going. But I noticed that later on, like the last 2 years, people really realized that those that did get vaccinated and those that didn't, they were able to, if they did catch COVID virus, like the strains, because the strains changed, they were able to get healthier quicker because they had the vaccinations, opposed to those that didn't get the vaccination. So it was an experience, is what I'm saying. But I noticed that a lot of people did not believe that COVID existed until they did catch it. And then now they're out there getting their vaccinations and boosters, because they said that, it was their experience with COVID was very scary. They thought they weren't going to make it.
Oh,
yeah. So
after they got it,
yes,
then they got their.
That's when they decided the vaccination.
That's so crazy.
Unfortunately, I guess sometimes you have to see it to believe it.
Right.
Well, that was what I was experiencing, and I'm going to tell you, it was very difficult in the beginning of COVID, having to tell persons this. I'm having to check you on purpose Because a lot of times people would say, well, I just need to work, I need to feed my family. I said, yeah, but if you get everybody else sick, everybody else needs to feed their family too. So if you expose someone else to COVID, not only you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to hurt other families. But it was very difficult for me to kind of do the education as a nurse, education on, just being, make sure that that you don't have signs, symptoms, make sure that, you're doing, at the time they were saying that the distancing, the 6 feet, that making sure that you have your masks on, when we had to go just straight mask if we were going to the store, because the movement had been, we couldn't go anywhere except, store, gas station, or if you're an essential worker, then you can go to work. So that was, it was very difficult in the beginning, just doing the education, persons that didn't believe in vaccination, changing their thoughts after they got sick and telling me, I was on the one of my ladies, she told me, and I'm going to say, we were doing assessments and she didn't get the vaccination and she didn't believe in it, but it was a job to her. And then one day she was out for 14 days. And when she came, well, she texted me, she said, I was crying out, asking, please, because she said she thought she was going to die. She said she just passed out on her floor in her bedroom.
Wow.
And just was so sick, with the COVID, that she didn't think she was going to make it, that she was literally crying and saying, please, God, don't take my life. And after that, her whole life changed. She got her vaccinations, she got married, she just changed her whole way of life, because you don't really see,
She got married?
She got married. I mean, she said she wanted to live her life better than she did before, because she had taken COVID for granted, that she didn't, even though she was doing the assessments, she didn't really believe in the vaccination. She thought it was a hoax, but it was a good job. But once she got COVID to the point where she thought she said.
This video was made possible by a grant from Vaccinate All 58. I know there are lots of reasons why people might be unsure of even how or whether to get vaccinated, but vaccines can really be a great way to keep yourself and your loved ones safe. And if you're looking for more information or want to set up an appointment, you can visit them at myturn.ca.gov, or you can call them at 833-422-4255. I hope everybody's staying safe out there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Until next time. This video was made possible by a grant from Vaccinate All 58.